Today we're going to be talking about prepositional phrases. A lot of times students think good writers are just naturally good writers or they have this great amount of knowledge, and that's really not the case. A lot of writing is just knowing how to put the different pieces together. One way to think about writing is to think of them like Legos. With Legos, you just have the different types of blocks and you put those blocks into the right places and you build something amazing. Writing works the same way, and one of the most important Legos that we can use in our writing is the prepositional phrase. So we're going to take a look at that prepositional phrase and how we can use it to make our writing and our sentences stronger. Our essential question today is, what can I add to improve my sentences? So let's take a look. First, a preposition is a word that shows a relationship. There are lots of different types of prepositions. Some deal with time, like before or when. Some deal with locations, like with. You have until, by, regarding, throughout, to, against, between, into. These are just some examples. There are hundreds of prepositions that you can use, and they show relationships between where objects are, when they exist, or how they relate to each other. A prepositional phrase is a modifier. It's a phrase that will modify something in your writing, and it starts with a preposition and ends with a noun or a pronoun. So when we're writing, we can use prepositional phrases to improve our writing very easily, and we could use them all over the place. And we're going to take a look at that in some of our examples. Here's a sentence: the boy ran. It's a complete sentence. We have our subject, the boy. We have our predicate verb statement, ran. But we can improve that. And one of the best ways we can improve it is prepositional phrases. Let's take a look. The boy in blue shorts ran to his home. Here we put two different prepositional phrases, one describing the boy and one describing where he ran to. So when you look at this, already our sentence is a lot more precise. We have a lot more information about what's going on. We know something about the boy and where he's going. And it was a simple thing just to add in those prepositions. We use the preposition in and to give more information about what's going on here. But we could also add prepositional phrases onto prepositional phrases. The boy in blue shorts ran to his home by the oak tree. So we have prepositional phrases here modifying our subject, modifying our verb statement, and modifying another prepositional phrase. That's perfectly fine. Remember, anytime we can give more information about a relationship or how two things interact with each other, we can add a prepositional phrase. It could also be a sentence starter. That means, you could sometimes you could use a prepositional phrase to start your sentence. Let's take a look at what that looks like. When school ended, comma, the boy in blue shorts ran to his home. The only difference is when we put that prepositional phrase at the beginning, when we wrote when school ended, we have to put a comma before the rest of that sentence. Because that phrase is not really a complete it's not a complete clause by itself, we need to go through and put that comma there to make it where it's going to be following those right rules of grammar. So we have prepositional phrases we can put on our subject, we can put them on our predicate, we can put them on other prepositional phrases, or we could just put them at the start of the sentence to provide some context about what's going on or when it happened or anything else. So we have a lot of different options about how we use those prepositional phrases. And as you can see, they make our sentences better. Sometimes we have a weak sentence, we're going to look for ways to improve it. And this is going to be one of our best tools in improving our writing. How can we use it in some of the different types of sentences we've been working on? Well, we're going to take a look at ways we can use prepositional phrases to add context to our topic sentences and our evidence sentences. Here's a very simple topic sentence. In Bud Not Buddy, written by Christopher Paul Curtis, Todd showed he was cruel. So here's a topic sentence about the character Todd Amos. Now, one thing you might notice is in the topic sentence that we normally write, we actually have a prepositional phrase there. We have in Bud Not Buddy, or we write in the novel Bud Not Buddy, or in the article. We start most of our topic sentences with a prepositional phrase. So you guys are already using prepositional phrases a lot more than you think. You use these in your writing already. We're just trying to understand them a little bit better so we could specifically use them when we want to. So how can I make this topic sentence better? Well, in Bud Not Buddy, written by Christopher Paul Curtis, in chapter 2, Todd showed he was cruel by how he treated Bud. I added a prepositional phrase to show which chapter we're talking about. I also added one to describe why Todd was cruel or how we knew Todd was cruel. Remember those grounds, that explanation of why we think our topic sentence answer is correct. That's one of those hard parts in that topic sentence. Prepositional phrases are sometimes one of the best ways of writing those. So we're going to use prepositional phrases to help us out, just to add a little bit of context or a little bit more detail when it's needed in a sentence, like our topic sentences. In our evidence sentences, we can do the same thing. Here we have an evidence sentence that says, for example, Todd said, it got all the way to R. Wow. If you remember that scene that was kind of messed up, Todd just stuck a pencil up Bud's nose. Very not nice. If we want to add a little bit more context, though, we could say, for example, when Bud woke up, after his first night, in the house. We have 3 prepositional phrases there added, and each one adds a little bit more detail about when the event happened. It's not complicated, it's not hard. All we're doing is just tacking on those little Legos that make our sentence a little bit stronger. So to be a good writer and to have good evidence sentences and topic sentences and good analysis sentences, it doesn't take being a brilliant writer. It just takes understanding those Legos and how we can put them in when they are needed to make our sentences stronger and to make our writing better.